People moving out, people moving in. Why? Because of the color of their skin. Run, 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 but you sure can't hide. Well, nobody's interested in learning but the teacher. Segregation, determination, demonstration, integration, aggravation, humiliation, obligation to my nation.
Good morning and welcome to Detroit Wants to Know. This week we're at Mike's Fresh Market, once again, Livernois and 7 Mile. My friends, there's an epidemic in our city. It's an epidemic of marijuana provisioning centers. This summer we visited Mind Right, which is really well run, really clean out there on Mack Avenue on the east side, but there are a lot of them all over the place. Things like Grass Station, Chronic House. This stuff is out of control. We talked to Dennis Kniezek, who was trying at the state level to regulate these, but now we have one of our city council members that is actually doing it. My friends, Councilman James Tate from District 1. Councilman Tate.
Good to see you.
It's good to finally have you on Detroit Wants to Know.
I'm excited. Thanks
Yeah, you're not afraid like some of your fellow members.
No.
I call them chicken because they know I'm going to ask them some stuff. Yeah. I want to applaud you for what you're trying to do with regulating the marijuana provisioning centers in Detroit. Tell us about this ordinance you've introduced.
Yeah, so this ordinance, essentially, the main thing it does is it allows for a pathway for the dispensaries to exist, because I recognize that there are individuals who actually need this medicine. I've talked to patients all around, and they've had medical benefit. But it also, on the other hand, makes sure that it reduces this oversaturation that we have in the city of Detroit. So there's one portion of it for the licensing. There's another portion for the zoning. The licensing tells those folks who want to get into the business what you got to do before and during and even after in terms of tear down. But the zoning is where we're getting a lot of pushback. The zoning is where you're going to reduce the numbers within the city of Detroit. And so what we're saying is that you cannot have more than one of these establishments for every 2,000 feet. You also need to be 1,000 feet away from schools, parks, churches, and libraries. So that right now leaves us in a situation where there certainly enough space in the industrial areas, but then very few among the main thoroughfares, but they do have a pathway for existence.
Well, wait a minute. I've seen places where there's less than 2,000 feet
yeah?
apart right now. So how do you choose who gets to stay and who gets to go?
That's the point. I don't. And I want to make sure that this law is fair. We have a blanket ordinance that says if you fall within these parameters, you have an opportunity to apply for that license, but it's not guaranteed. The challenge is that many of these places that are now illegally occupying the city, because there's nothing in state law that allows for dispensaries, these operations, more than likely 90% of them will have to shut down.
Drive-through dispensaries. Is that allowed under your ordinance? That's the craziest thing.
Yeah, we did not put forth anything in there that allows for, we actually prohibited drive-through provisioning centers. We're getting some pushback from that as well, but that'll be part of the debate. It's now the two ordinances are in the committees, and we're hopeful that it comes out unscathed. But we're getting some pushback from some patients' right advocates. And let me just say, again, I've talked to folks and they've said, what if I have a patient who's not as mobile? You got to think the individual got to the provisioning center somehow. And you also have to understand that each building has to be ADA compliant. So that whole argument that because you have a patient that's not as mobile and they need to have the drive-through, I think that's a ridiculous statement.
Well, let me tell you what I would have done had I been in your shoes. I would have taken Delray. Old bombed out Delray in the side of the bridge. I would have made that the marijuana hot zone. I would have only allowed provisioning centers right there. Would have built that place up. When marijuana is potentially legalized, that would become the new Amsterdam. I could see Canadian citizens coming over there to party. You'd have a new entertainment district. But we'll let you go the way you guys are going right now.
I think my colleague, council member Constaneta Lopez, may give some pushback on that one.
Are you sure about that?
I think so, but we're working together.
Politically correctness, Mr. Hood. Stop it. Okay. Councilman Tate, we're going to keep watching. Thank you for fighting for us. And I want to come up into your district before this year is over.
Come on over. We're doing a lot of great things.
That far northwest side's an amazing area.
You're moving.
And perhaps we can figure out what to do about that golf course.
We're working on that too.
I want to hear about that.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with my good friend Paul Welday. We're going to talk about the legalization of marijuana, but we're also going to talk about the Republican primary, which comes up March 8th in Michigan. We'll be right back.
How would you like for this to be you? This is your chance. WVIE 107.3 FM and WHPR 88.1 FM are looking for people with outgoing personalities who can attract sponsors. If you're into talk, R&B, oldies, jazz, gospel, or soca, have your own radio show. We have block time available. Call 313-868-6612. Radio we can see, broadcasting live in the Virgin Islands and Detroit.
When you're having a heart attack, this is how it feels to your heart. And if it happens at night or on the weekend, there's only one hospital team standing by on site to save you. Cardio Team 1, only at the DMC.
Mike's Fresh Market, Detroit's largest independent supermarket with the best prices, quality, and service. Enjoy our vast selection of fresh fruits and vegetables. Wide aisles lead you to our own in-house bakery and deli. Beef, pork, chicken, seafood, and much more. You can rest assured you will feed your family the freshest food in town. Whatever you need, you can find it here at Mike's Fresh Market. Mike's Fresh Market with 2 locations, Gratiot and 7 Mile and Livernois and 7 Mile. Better food, better prices. That's Mike's promise.
Welcome back to Detroit Wants to Know. We're coming to you from the fabulous Mike's Fresh Market on Livernois and 7 Mile. My guest this segment is Paul Welday, who's trying to get marijuana legalized. Paul Welday, super Republican.
Hey, Steve, good to see you.
So you're trying to get marijuana legalized?
Well, what happened is
Paul,
we
I just
started.
have to ask you this.
Yes.
Have you had the munchies before?
Can you tell? What do you think?
Okay, I just want to know.
No, seriously.
At least you didn't say takes one to know one.
Anyway, we started looking at that, Steve, and we understand what the ramifications of that are, and they're pretty sweeping, frankly. There are a couple of states, few states in the country that have legalized marijuana for recreational or personal use. But after really looking at what the right steps were, our group, the Michigan Responsibility Council, said, you know what, we need to focus on fixing the medical marijuana program in Michigan. This is the way I look at it. Let's say you've got a growing family and you need to build an addition to your house, but you look up and you got a hole in your roof, you fix the roof first. And that's what we're trying to do. Fix medical marijuana in this state so that the people who need it for medicine can get it. If we don't do that as our first step, we'll never really do full legalization, which is coming, many of us believe, but maybe not right now.
Paul, you say fixing the roof.
Yes.
So you think Detroit's out of hand? Have you seen our drive-through marijuana distribution?
Of course I have. Of course I have. Not only is it broken from the standpoint of patients trying to get what they need, going to these dispensaries, but legally. People are in jeopardy. They don't know if they're on solid legal ground now or whether they're breaking the law. So what we're trying to do, working with the legislature, working with James Tate and others, by the way, and I have to applaud him for his leadership, we're trying to create a responsible system that makes medical marijuana safe and reliable for the people who need it. We'll deal with the recreational down the road, but first things first.
Okay. Because the recreational's coming.
Yeah.
It's going to be on the ballot in 16.
Well, sure and Republicans and Democrats agree. Now, maybe some Republicans are a little resistant to that, but times are changing everywhere. People see this as something that may be inevitable.
Okay, let's switch gears.
Sure.
And I hope this doesn't fall too much, but
yeah,
March 8th. March 8th is the Republican primary in Michigan.
Well, it's everybody's primary.
It's everybody. It's Democrat and Republican.
That's right.
But I'm more focused on the energy on the Republican side because I'm not seeing much energy on the Democratic side.
I would agree.
What's going on there? Is your man Kasich going to make it?
Well, listen, he's a guy who's talking about things that are a little bit different than the Donald Trumps of the world. I mean, he's talking about criminal justice reform. He's talking about urban policy. He's talking about making sure that we help those who, for no reason of their own, need that kind of help. I mean, I think this is a message that can build a broad coalition. But, you know, I think Jeb Bush is saying some good things, too. Now, you got to get over the Bush name, but Carly's also made a tremendous inroads. It's so early. Here we are. It's, you know, September, October. That's the fall of the year before. Lots is going to happen between now and then.
When are we going to get down to the urban agenda of the Republicans? Our inner cities are dying. Chicago, Detroit, Memphis, LA. Things are out of hand.
Well, first,
and I haven't heard one of these candidates talk about a credible urban agenda.
Well, I would disagree with you. I mean, Rand Paul, say what you will about him, Rand Paul has been very active talking
in the words
about
of my
urban
main
agenda.
man Donald, he doesn't exist.
Well, you know, that's everybody's opinion. Kasich and others are also talking about this, but it takes the right people asking those questions. You know, we need to have people who have a stake in the urban agenda, particularly forcing that issue. And that hasn't happened because we're just getting to know all these guys right now.
Okay. Well, Paul, I want you to know I want to talk politics with
Anytime.
you closer to December, January as we approach March 8th.
You bet. I'm
All
happy to do it.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Good to see you, man.
Watch out for those munchies. They'll
Will
kill you.
do. Whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right
We're at
back.
the right place.
Right, really. Sell this fruit. We'll be right back with Detroit Wants to Know.
Mike's Fresh Market, Detroit's largest independent supermarket with the best prices, quality, and service. Enjoy our vast selection of fresh fruits and vegetables. Wide aisles lead you to our own in-house bakery and deli. Beef, pork, chicken, seafood, and much more. You can rest assured you will feed your family the freshest food in town. Whatever you need, you can find it here at Mike's Fresh Market. Mike's Fresh Market with 2 locations, Gratiot and 7 Mile and Livernois and 7 Mile. Better food, better prices. That's Mike's promise.
When you're having a heart attack, this is how it feels to your heart. And if it happens at night or on the weekend, there's only one hospital team standing by on site to save you. Cardio Team 1, only at the DMC.
We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table. When we sit down together, we share our expertise. You've got a legal problem, we know you need relief. Advice that you can trust, that's why people come to us. We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table.
Groundbreaking. Life-saving. History-making. The new DMC Heart Hospital, summer 2014. The beat goes on.
Welcome back to Detroit Wants to Know. We're here at Mike's Fresh Market on Livernois and 7 Mile. I've got my good friend and sponsor, Sabrina Cronin, here to answer one question I have. Sabrina Cronin, with all these people getting high, what are we going to do? You know, it's crazy. Let's start with DUIs.
Okay.
Okay. You've defended people in DUIs in Oakland County.
Yes.
What's going on there? I mean, are they really throwing people in jail for that? What's going on?
They absolutely are. And there are particular districts that are more strict than others.
Like what?
First-time offenses, they get jail time.
Like in which districts?
Well, Bloomfield is one of them. Mm-hmm. Rochester is one. Troy. A lot of times, first-time offenders do not go to jail right away. Depending on one particular judge does, however, put first-time offenders in jail. It's not unheard of. And it's in large part because of the types of, crime that they can commit while driving under the influence of alcohol or marijuana or illicit drugs or even prescription drugs. Prescription drug usage and overusage and driving while under the influence of that can be very toxic as well.
Do you recommend that they call Uber before they call you?
Absolutely. It's always safest to not get behind the wheel, especially if you've been drinking alcohol or consuming any type of medication or illicit drugs.
Do you find more African Americans than Caucasians are being busted, or is it 50-50?
I don't like to think that the police are disparate in their treatment of citizens, but it's very easy to get pulled over. It can take just a suspicion of activity, illegal activity running afoot. It can take a civil infraction. If you have a busted taillight or you didn't use your blinker when turning, you will get pulled over. And if they suspect or smell the odor of intoxicants, they will take you through the ringer and do all sorts of sobriety tasks, all sorts of PBTs, then the data master. It's not easy.
Let's talk about the smell of intoxicants. So, can they get you if they smell marijuana smoke in your car?
They can, yes.
And how do they test for impairedness with marijuana?
Well, that is the million-dollar question these days. A lot of it is the sobriety test that they do in the roadside. Then they'll do the blood. They'll get a warrant for the blood draw, unless you consent to that. So right now, no one has invented a roadside test to determine the level of marijuana in your system. And the law at this point does not have a threshold. Like with drunk driving, it's 0.08 or higher. You're considered operating while intoxicated. Anything below that is an impaired state. For marijuana usage, even if you have a medical marijuana card, if you're driving while under the influence and your driving is impaired, then you will be arrested.
Sabrina, how do people, should they be traveling in the northern environs or in Detroit, contact you to handle a DUI or OUIO?
Well, Steve, I handle drunk driving all over the state of Michigan, and they can call 1-855-CALL-CRONIN.
1-855-CALL-CRONIN, all over the state of Michigan?
I do.
What's your furthest away from Detroit that you handle?
I have handled everything in the northern Michigan area, Saginaw County, Genesee County, Lansing, Livingston County, Lapeer County, Port Huron, Wayne County, Oakland County, Macomb County. I've been practicing for over 20 years and I've covered a lot of districts.
Okay. Well, Sabrina, I want to thank you for your sponsorship. I
Thank
want to thank
you,
you for
Steve.
coming on the show.
Thank you.
Because I'm worried about this. We have drive-through dispensaries in Detroit. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. All right.
Be careful.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with Detroit Wants to Know.
We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table. When we sit down together, we share our expertise. You've got a legal problem, we know you need relief. Advice that you can trust, that's why people come to us. We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table.
Find your path to success at Wayne County Community College District. From high-tech facilities to experienced instructors to a range of programs that give you the skills you need for in-demand jobs. Everything you need to jumpstart a new career or advance your education is at a campus near you. And we're here to support you every step of the way. So why wait? Register today.
Detroit Wants to Know is sponsored by the AFPD, the voice of independent retailers.
Hello, I'm Dr. Shauna Diggs, and welcome to Cosmetic Dermatology.
As Michigan's leader in comprehensive skin health and rejuvenation, board-certified dermatologist Dr. Shauna Ryder Diggs and the entire Cosmetic Dermatology team take a caring, customized approach to skin care. The Cosmetic Derm team effectively treats skin diseases and autoimmune diseases such as lupus. State-of-the-art laser technology is utilized in hair removal, tattoo removal, and skin peels. To learn more, visit our website, Cosmetic Dermatology, where science and beauty meet.
Mike's Fresh Market, Detroit's largest independent supermarket with the best prices, quality, and service. Enjoy our vast selection of fresh fruits and vegetables. Wide aisles lead you to our own in-house bakery and deli. Beef, pork, chicken, seafood, and much more. You can rest assured you will feed your family the freshest food in town. Whatever you need, you can find it here at Mike's Fresh Market. Mike's Fresh Market with 2 locations, Gratiot and 7 Mile and Livernois and 7 Mile. Better food, better prices. That's Mike's promise.
Welcome back to Detroit Wants to Know. This week we've been coming to you from Mike's Fresh Market on the northwest side of Detroit on Livernois and 7 Mile. My friends, Mike's Fresh, everybody thought they would be put out of business by the introduction of Meijer a year ago. Meijer on 8 Mile and Woodward. Guess what? They're still standing, and they're still standing strong, serving fresh food. It's amazing. Everybody thought they would be gone. It's just like with a casino. Everything within 5 miles dies. You put a superstore in, you think that the neighborhood local store is going to die. But Mike's Fresh actually survived and is thriving. I have Jeff Kassab with me, one of the managers.
Yes.
Jeff,
How you doing?
man, the
Nice
store,
to see you.
the store looks as great as ever.
Thank you so much.
How in the world did Mike's Fresh survive when the big dog came in?
Well, we base our business here on a couple things, and number one is freshness and cleanliness. We make sure the store is always clean, the perishable department's always fresh, and something that the big dogs don't have that we have, I believe, is customer service. People come in here, we know them by name, it's a one-on-one thing. They go into these big chains and they're just another customer. They go in, they pick things up, they leave. But when they come here, they request things, we do our best to get them, and I think the one-on-one customer relationship is good. We give back to the community, they give back to us, and it's a two-way streak. So that's...
Well, we've been here in front of the produce, and
Yes.
it still looks beautiful.
Yes.
It's not, not
Yeah.
wilted or faded or anything.
Right.
But also, tell us about your meats.
Our perishable departments are top quality. Something that we differ from the chains. They carry one particular, this is what they carry and that's it. But we cater, we have Amish chicken, we have all natural, and we have regular chicken. So we cater to different types of people. It's not just you go to Myers and everything is choice or everything, and this is it, that's what you get. Over here we cater to, whatever the people want. If they want choice meat, we have choice meat. If they want a grade below choice, we have that. They want Amish chicken, we got it. They want non-Amish, we got it. So we do our best, again, to cater to the customers, and I think that's what business is about.
Well, I know from many of the community groups around here that you've also been a great community partner
Yes.
to the people here on the
Yes.
northwest side.
Yeah.
All right, give us the hours at this location, Livernois and 7 Mile.
This location, we're open 7 days a week, from Monday through Saturday from 8 to 10, and on Sundays from 8 to 9, and we have a full line of everything. We added a nice liquor department for people that, during the holidays, we have a lot of customers that wanted liquor, so we brought liquor. And we have full deli, hot foods, anything the customer wants, 100,000 items plus, and we're here to service the people, and we're here to service the community.
Well, Jeff,
So,
thanks for coming, buddy.
thank you so much.
All
We
right,
appreciate
and
it.
Tell Jamal I said
I
what's
will
up.
do that. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
We appreciate your support.
Ladies and gentlemen, in order to get to the truth in our next segment, we're going to bring one of the locals from Livernois and 7 Mile up here. We're going to bring Big Lou to talk to you. We'll be right back.
Mike's Fresh Market, Detroit's largest independent supermarket with the best prices, quality, and service. Enjoy our vast selection of fresh fruits and vegetables. Wide aisles lead you to our own in-house bakery and deli. Beef, pork, chicken, seafood, and much more. You can rest assured you will feed your family the freshest food in town. Whatever you need, you can find it here at Mike's Fresh Market. Mike's Fresh Market with 2 locations, Gratiot and 7 Mile and Livernois and 7 Mile. Better food, better prices. That's Mike's promise.
ETX Closed Captioning is sponsored by the Detroit Seafood Market.
Welcome back to Detroit Wants to Know. We've been at Mike's Fresh Market this week on Livernois and 7 Mile. I decided I would talk to one of the residents here, one of the larger residents. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Big Lou Campbell. Big Lou?
I would kiss you, but you're a little too ugly.
Excuse me, wrong side of Woodford for that kissing, big fella. Anyway, you've been in the neighborhood for years.
Right.
You've seen it go down. Is it coming back up?
Yes, in various areas, it certainly is.
Your market, Mike's Fresh, is still here. When we did our first interview here, you did it with us.
Yes, I did.
Is it still the same quality?
Actually, they have improved. I love the fresh vegetables and the produce that they have here is outstanding, and they always greet you with kindness. And the market is very clean. It's very, very clean, so I appreciate that.
Okay. Let's get off the market, Lou.
Okay.
Tell me about life in the city, man.
Well,
What's going on with our people, man? We've got all these shootings. We've got these block party shootings. We've got all these rapes going on. What in the world is going on, Lou? Help me out.
There seems to be a dichotomy in that because we just had the 8 Mile reunion August 8th. That was this past Saturday, not Saturday, it was on a Saturday. And we had over 4,000 people that attended, including Judge Greg Mathis, our Channel 2 celebrities, Channel 4 celebrities, singing celebrities, Eddie Franklin. We've had all these individuals and we did not have 1 ounce of violence, and that's been over the last 9 years we've held this. Over 4,000 people, not even an argument.
Is it because they're older? I notice your gray and goatee.
No, it's not because they're older, it's because of the way that it has been conducted. We don't have the sagging of the pants and the yelling and all of the riffraff that is not there.
Okay. So what do we do? You've been training youths for years. What do we do? How do we stop all this, Lou?
Well, we got to have the education. You have the right proper education, Steve. You know that transfers into jobs and job opportunity, which transfers into money, and then you don't have to take from somebody on the premise that they have what I want and I can't get it, so I'm gonna get it through violence. Mm-hmm. We got 2 types of crimes, obviously, in the city of Detroit and around this nation. You got the crime of violence and you got the crime of property. And we have in the city of Detroit, I believe the population of the city of Detroit is 688,701. We are, in the state of Michigan, 39.3% black folk. We have in our prison system 42,916 prisoners. In Wayne County, you have 1.8 million people that live in Wayne County. Now, I deal with these facts and figures all the time. We don't want to revert back to June the 22nd, 1943, the riots on Belle Isle, or July 23rd, 1967, Saturday morning at 2:30 at Claremont and 12th Street with the riots. But you will have that type of climate that will arise if you don't get in and resolve a problem.
And what problem do we have to resolve?
The problem we got to resolve is morality and education. We have to institute that in the kids. I understand your religious background, your spiritual background. I've been knowing you for years. We have to transfer that into our youth. There's some way to, I just talked to Councilman Tate, a dear friend of mine, Benny Napoleon, who's a great dear friend of mine. These individuals want this resolved. So do I. So I will sit on the committees with them to get this resolved. We'll bring our thinkers in, we'll bring our doers in and get this resolved. We don't want crime in the city of Detroit. We want to diminish that. Okay. And all you little thugs out there, we're going to get rid of you.
Thank you, Lou. Let's hope they're awake and watching this. We got to wrap it up. I just have 2 more questions to ask you.
You never asked me about Tommy Hearns, Evander Holyfield, Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, Sheila Cockrell, Kenny Cockrell, Sr., all those individuals I've trained.
We know that you've trained all these great people, but you're about 85 now, right?
I'm 85, you in the left eye.
How in the world do you keep that memory the way it is? That's sharp.
My memory is sharp.
Your memory's sharp.
A lot of fruit, a lot of vegetables, and thinking right and doing right. And that pretty little lady next to me.
And the lack of hair.
Oh, watch out now,
okay.
Steve. You're getting personal.
One last question, Lou.
Yes.
How's J. Rue? I trained with him when he was growing up. He had that little bit of problem. How's he doing down in Texas?
My grandson, the ex-quarterback from Cass Tech High School, J. Rue, who lived with me for quite some time, is doing great. Unfortunately, he encountered those problems here in the city of Detroit, but he has gone over and resolved those issues, and he's on a new path.
All right. Big Lou, thanks for joining us.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he just kissed me on the west side of Woodward in 7 Mile. It's just like really wrong and really disgusting to me. Anyway, have a great week. And listen to what Big Lou said. We've got to get rid of the problem before we have a bigger problem. And the pocket puffs, well, that's courtesy Big Lou. You notice that it changed from the beginning of the show to the end. That's his influence from Livernois and 7 Mile. Have a great week. We'll see you.
People moving out, people moving in. Why? Because of the color of the skin.